Shockingly, we learned that an armed Broward County school resource deputy sheriff failed to step up and do his duty, the job of confronting an armed shooter in Parkland, Florida. Deputy Scott Peterson's reluctance to engage the shooter by hiding behind a concrete pillar, no less, and failing to even draw his weapon, much less fire it, inside the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, ultimately resulted in the murder of 17 people. And Deputy Peterson having a come-to-Jesus conversation with himself. Peterson was the final weak link in a series of circumstances that led to the slaughter and mayhem in that school. Peterson has resigned his commission in disgrace. However, that won't resurrect a single person from the grave. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the unwarranted assault against the NRA continues via the mainstream media and the internet. I'm a lifetime member of the NRA, and I believe that a majority of Americans support the organization that supports not just the Second Amendment, but the entire Constitution of these United States. But what about the other questions? Whether or not it is possible to protect our children and anyone else from random attacks by nerds with guns and bombs desiring to make a name for themselves. Short of every parent sitting through the school day with a son or a daughter, I'm sad to say that I think not. Not until we confess that society must corral the crazy people who walk and eat and sleep among us. According to some in the mainstream media, teachers would rather die than be armed to defend themselves and their students. Hokum poppycock. Thanks to pressure from liberals, left-wing, anarchists, Democrats, and their operatives in the mainstream media, America is being misguided down a dark path of anarchy and repression by people whose prime objective in this world is world government and socialism. I'm asking you to turn away from seeking easy targets by holding me responsible for the high school massacre in Parkland. Why me, you query? Because I am the NRA. The NRA is you, your next-door neighbor, the housewife up the road. We the people, the NRA is us, every Jack and Jill of us across this land, black and white and rich and poor. So the better questions are, why didn't school administrators in Parkland, Florida, take action, the action necessary to prevent the slaughter in their school? Why hadn't the vocal students who are being plastered across the media demanding a ban on the AR-15 and the impeachment of President Trump, why didn't they speak up before blood and guts were splattered all across their school? Why didn't they simply say, "Excuse me, teacher, there's a potential mass murderer walking among us, and we're concerned"? You should be demanding to know why and how the FBI screwed up. Why isn't there any discussion about the Ritalin generation of young adults moving like zombies among us? Sadly, I have to close by saying, yep, you betcha, there will be another school shooting. Why? Because we've allowed ourselves to be distracted by the usual anti-Second Amendment, NRA, guns are bad suspects. Be careful out